Y'all didn't even hear me say that. Yo, that was loud as hell, but I don't care. Welcome back to another video. From me, like, comment, subscribe if you new. We ain't wasting no. I pressed the wrong button. We ain't wasting no time. Let's get into this video.
Drinking and
How to
driving,
ruin
getting
your life
RA
in
pregnant,
college.
watching hentai with the door unlocked.
Okay, hold on. Run it back. We started with a lot.
Drinking and driving, getting your RA pregnant, watching hentai with the door unlocked. There are plenty of ways.
That is absolutely wild. I'm not gonna. That's insane.
To ruin your life in college. So here's a story about the biggest screw up I've ever met, named Jimmy. Jimmy was basically Steve-O without all the fame and money. He was the ultimate attention-seeking who would do anything in front of a crowd. He climbed fire escapes, punched himself in the balls, got suplexed on beer pong tables, anything to get a reaction out of the people. And right before a stunt, he would always yell, "To the moon!"
Jimmy is insane.
Not sure why, but with Jimmy, I learned not to ask questions and just accept the craziness. Anyway, one day I'm hanging out with Jimmy and a few peeps and I start rolling some weed. I made a little line with a credit card and I'm about to put in the blunt when Jimmy says, "How much would you pay me if I snorted that?" And my eyes lit up. I'm like, "For the whole line? I'll borrow you a bottle of Jack Daniels." The problem was I was too excited and Jimmy started to have second thoughts. But I knew Jimmy didn't care about the bottle. He just wanted the attention. So I start chanting, "Jimmy, Jimmy, Jimmy." And now we're all chanting, "Jimmy, Jimmy, Jimmy." I see Jimmy crack a little bit of a smile and he says, "To the moon." Then he
insane. To the moon. Yeah, take your ass back to the earth, nigga, because you crazy.
Puts one hand on the side of his nose, bends over, and takes a huge rip. Immediately, Jimmy was f***ed up. He's just moaning, "Oh,
yeah, Jimmy,
I'm dying." Jimmy keeps trying to blow it out, but he put dry plant matter in a wet nasal cavity. It ain't coming out. So he walks into the bathroom, puts his wallet and phone on the counter, and steps right into the shower. Fully clothed, he's just moaning into the shower head. And I don't know who's crying more, Jimmy from pain or me from laughter. Another time I'm hanging out in the dorm with some peeps when Jimmy comes barreling in. He's like, guys, have you ever tried a gravity bong before? We're like, no. He's like, well, I'm about to blow your mind. I need a 2-liter bottle and a bucket filled with water. I'm like, what do you need a bucket for? He's like, no time. Fill up a bucket and find me a 2-liter. So I get some water, but the only 2-liter we had was an unopened bottle of soda. He's like, you gotta empty this first. I'm like, dude, I'm not just gonna pour out a full 2-liter. He's like, fine, and starts chugging it, stopping periodically to burp and moan. He gets through about 90% of it, and I could tell he's in pure agony. So I just pour out the rest. He's like,
Jimmy, you tripping, gang. You was tripping, bro. What you doing? Jimmy is insane. Jimmy is absolutely wild, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, we're almost there. So he cuts off the bottom of the bottle, burns a hole in the cap, and stuffs it with a bowl. I'm looking at this contraption, having no faith it would work, but as soon as Jimmy lit the bowl, I was mesmerized. Smoke begins to fill the bottle as Jimmy looks at us and says, "To the moon." Then he takes off the cap, inhales, and blows smoke all around the room. Now our dorm is covered in a thick fog, and everyone begins to panic. Jimmy's coughing uncontrollably, and I'm like, guys, what are we gonna do? Hearing all the commotion, the RA comes and knocks on our door.
Yep,
Jimmy, with limited lung capacity, is like, "Oh tits, I can't get caught. I'm still on probation." So he opens a window, and I'm thinking he's trying to aerate out the place. Nope. He just starts punching the screen till there's enough space to fit through and jumps out. He crashes a story below into a bush and starts wailing. Roommate lets the RA in, who immediately walks to the window to see where all the screaming's coming from. While he was distracted, I sneak out, and as I'm exiting the building, I still remember hearing Jamie's wails in the distance. Somehow Jimmy doesn't get expelled for this, and a week later I bump into him in the cafeteria. He's got a walking boot on, and before I could even ask about his injuries, he says, "Hey, do you still have that 2-liter? I'm like, "The one we cut in half?" "Yep, I think so." He's like, "Good, bring it over my place tonight at 8. So I go over Jimmy's place later that evening, thinking he was just gonna make another gravity bomb.
Jimmy got a house?
Turns out he had grander plans. First, Jimmy takes the 2-liter and starts stuffing the opening with cigarettes. I'm talking like 40 cigarettes. Then he places it on a table next to a beer can, a bowl, and a little line of Coke. I'm like, "Jimmy, this might be a little much, even for you." He's like, "Don't worry, bro. I'll be fine." I'm like, "Dude, mixing beer, weed, Coke, and cigarettes seems like a really bad idea." He's like, "Don't forget about peyote." I'm like, "Peyote?" He's like, "Yeah, I put peyote in one of the cigarettes." "You mean the shit that makes you see spirit animals?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm looking."
Oh no, Jimmy actually insane. Jimmy is insane.
We're gonna get twisted.
I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, seriously think about what you're doing.
This
for
is
a sec.
interesting.
But before he could respond, people start chanting, "Jimmy."
Yeah, don't. Life lesson? Don't go to college to try to please people. Don't go to try to please people. It's different if it's like your parents, you want to make them happy, proud, whatever. That's different. That's different. That's motivation. That's motivation to actually push forward and do something in your life. That's different. That's motivation. This is a different type of wanting attention that you do not need. If the only way you can get attention is from physically, mentally, shit, every which type way, hurting yourself, it's not worth it. It's not worth it, bro. It's not worth the attention. It's not worth the likes, the clicks, nothing. You know, it's not worth nothing in college. It's worth that much. All right, you paying for your schoolwork. You paying for school. If you go to public school, shit ain't free no more. You paying for it. About paying thousands of dollars. Finna have thousands of dollars in debt, some people. So it's like, why do all this bullshit to fuck your life over to make the debt even worse? To not be able to pay it back, to never get to where you wanted to be in life. Just because you wanted to please people in college. Nah, hell no.
Jimmy, with a huge smile on his face, yells, "To the moon!" Then he snorts the coke, takes a hit from the bowl, shotguns the beer, and starts lighting the cigarettes. He gets maybe 2 puffs in before dropping it, coughing violently. Everyone's cheering, and I'm thinking disaster averted. That was until Jimmy started talking in tongues. He's just like... At first, we thought he was kidding, but it became clear he was actually losing his mind. I walk over to him to see if he was alright, but he just pushes me aside and bolts out the house. With his walking boots still on, he runs into the street yelling nonsense. People at the party are freaking out, yelling, Jimmy, what are you doing?" Eventually, a car comes and Jimmy jumps up on the hood. The driver panics and floors it in reverse, causing Jimmy to fall back first onto the concrete. That's when I was like, "Fuck this," and called 911. Paramedics come, and as they're taking Jimmy away, I'll never forget what he said to me. So whatever happened to Jimmy? Well, I have good news. He ended up turning his life around and is now a guidance counselor. I'm kidding. He's dead. But some people need a happy ending, you know? He's okay? Oh, thank goodness. You know me, not being able to deal with reality. The funny part was he made a full recovery from this incident and ended up dying from a drunk driver hitting him. Yeah, talk about irony.
See, that's crazy. See, never risk your life. Never risk your life. He died from a drunk driver hitting him. He died from the path he was going down. That tells you, get with, for me it's the Lord, but get with whoever you believe in, whoever you pray upon, get with them and lock in. You feel me? Just lock in with them, and it's gonna be bound to an amazing thing. Turn your life around. It's never too late. I don't give a fuck. People say 30 is old. 30 ain't old, bro. 30 is still young. Think of it like 30, you only live 30% of your life. If your phone battery is 30% down, there's still 70% left. Your chapter is nowhere closed. Until you're resting in peace, your chapter is not closed. Even then, your chapter still might not be closed. It's always time to turn your life around. You gotta make it now. I'm not gonna lie, cause you gotta do amazing things in the future. Whatever you want to do, whatever you dream of, that's what you gotta do in the future.
I guess when your entire life is a car crash, it isn't too surprising. Anyway, the lesson you should take from this video is doing reckless things for attention is a recipe for disaster. So if you're struggling with destructive tendencies, it's important to seek help. But if you're gonna do it anyway, then at least have it on film. To the moon, buddy.
No, don't do it at all. He's trolling. Don't do it. Don't do it at all. But if y'all like that one, like, comment, subscribe. This is a nice, quick, easy, short one. And I'll see y'all in the next one.